Well, hello there. This is Dan Tabar of Data Realms. I'm here to preview a little preview for you. It's the 1.0 of Cortex Command. I have been up all night, so I will be very loopy and rambly, but we'll get through this together. Anyway, I've been working on the campaign for this whole month, and it's gonna hopefully blow you away. I like it a lot, actually, the way it's come out. And I don't say that lightly. So, start the campaign. There's some new stuff in here. There's two resources in the game right now. There's gold and brains. Brains is the new one. It's finite, so if you run out of it, you're done for. It's game over. And the main setting up here is for how many brains each player starts with. The brains are used when you actually visit sites and so on, so they get used that way, and then they get destroyed, unfortunately, in battle. When you run out of the brains, it's game over, so you can set a handicap for each player individually to make them tougher or less tough to defeat. I will just leave that as it is now. So now, it's the first day of this strategic metagame that's on top of what you might have seen before, which is the tactical aspect of Cortex Command, which is what we're trying to come up with a good genre for where to place this game, and tactical physics side-scroller is a pretty good descriptor, but there's also this metagame on top of it that we're seeing right now. It's strategic and turn-based instead of being real-time, which is what the tactical stuff is. So anyway, we've detected, the game just started, we detected some sites on the planet that have gold. So it's my turn. I really should have named myself. Let's do that. Let's just start a new game, and I'll name myself Data. I'm playing against, well, I don't know, Cactus. And let's say Notch. And Danny B. Banny B is a better name. Alright, so let's start the game. We have same thing happening again. So you saw that the sites are actually different now, and that's kind of a feature actually. There's a total set of sites and terrains that the game ships with, but only a subset of them get chosen randomly in random order every new campaign. So that's actually going to help a lot with replayability. You get a different kind of set of environments every time you play. So it's my turn. I will now go to any of these. I can, kind of read about them and see where they are and so on. The only thing I really can do in the beginning here is to just set a budget for how much I want to actually spend of my money. As you can see on my little, this is my bar up here. This is me, this is Cactus, this is Danny, and this is Notch. So, and this is how much money I have, and this is the budget of that money that I want to use to go here. I can also scan the site, which is helpful. You'll see later why. It's an orbital scan of the surface. So that cost me a little bit of money, but I'm going to use the rest of my money to just go there. And that's really all I can do, so I'm going to end my turn now. And then the AI players did their thing, which is, which turns out to be the same. Two of the other players actually decided to go to the same place. And what happens here is, out of our pool of brains, like I said, there's two resources, right? So there's gold and brains. We are spending a certain amount of gold on this expeditionary force to go here and try to take over this gold, site. And we also sent one of our brains. So we started with 10, and now 9 are left in our reserves. Number of, it says here, available for deployment, because one of each is out here at the site now, and there's going to be a battle over the site because 3 people can't be on the same site. It's we're competing kind of mining companies, and we're trying to beat everyone else here. So that's how the battle starts, and it's all black in the beginning because it's not scanned yet, and this is what I paid for. I paid for this orbital scan, if you remember, and it just reveals what is visible up to the surface of the planet, and it doesn't really penetrate much into. There's a kind of a cave here, and I can decide wherever I want to go, and I will just go here with my landing craft. So, I'm of the dummy faction this time, which means stuff of the faction. Whoa! So there's some excited. Yes, win. So that was a good move by my anti-aircraft drone. Shot a missile around my landing craft and shot down the other one, which then exploded and blew up his brain, or smashed his brain, which is very effective. So, as you can recall, there were 3 brains going here, mine and 2 others, and one of the other ones is over here, and he's already dug himself into the ground. You can actually see him peeping out there, and he just ordered a guy down to take care of me. So over here. Oh, we got another guy here. Unfortunately, my defense drone blew up because he had some kind of grenade launcher magic. So I really need to get on the ball instead of talking so much here. I need to order down some guys. As you can see, I'm of the dummy faction, so I have a bunch of presets for dummies. That makes sense. And you can still buy stuff of other attacks, but they're very expensive. So it's a good idea to stay here. So he's sending guys after me, and he's digging gold, and he's also defending his own brain. So he's doing all these things to make the mission difficult. And my mission is to attack his... Oh shit. He's coming through this cave. So probably need to keep some guys behind for defense and some guys to attack. So I have this guy set. That was I think for my little dummy guy. Get some help over there before he jump on me. It's end badly for him. Good. So I'm trying to talk and play this game, which is actually quite challenging, but at least you get to see like and he's really doing a good job here sending guys over. He's constantly digging for gold as well, so he's limited by money, and he's dug pretty far down into the ground over there. He keeps sending new guys over. He orders them from space just like I am. And I'm going to go to low that here. Because that's where they're coming from. Pick up this grenade. And as you see, the map is revealed. Whoa! He had a minigun. Took a while for him to spin up that minigun, but once he got going, it was over. Now I'm in a really good spot for gold here. I need to keep getting guys down. As you can see, my gold counter is up in the left-hand corner there, upper left-hand corner. And as I dig for gold, it increases obviously, so I can buy more stuff out of this buy map, which is kind of overwhelming, but once you get a hang of it, it's not too bad. Especially with the presets now, there's presets for each tech faction, so there's like these sensible kind of setups. If I wasn't dummy tech, I would have all kinds of other stuff in here that would make more sense from the other factions. Again, they're over here, there's all kinds of stuff. In guns especially, there's all guns in this game. So we have a lot of options. Each gun is quite different and interesting in its own right. So there's quite a bit of variety. Anyway, back to the action. So, if you don't want to, you know, like you have a team of these guys, and I can set different AI modes. So if you don't want to kind of like micromanage everything, you can tell this guy to go hunt for the brain, the other guy's brain. You can tell this guy to stick to my brain, so he kind of protects him. So these guys will now head on over to the other brain as far as they can navigate there. They'll do a pretty good job of it too. The AI in this game was made by a very talented guy in Sweden. I can't take credit for the current AI in here because he took the crappy half-baked algorithms I had. Whoa! Just lost the gun. And lost his legs too. The guy died. And that's a win for me. Nice. So my dummy killed that guy who was in the tunnel, picked up his gun, and I then switch control to him because I want to make sure that I didn't fuck this up, and shot that guy. And interestingly, actually, you can see that we can actually see through. There's a cave underneath there that he was digging himself into, and this whole map is kind of a Swiss cheese. This particular terrain, this particular map that we, the site that we visited. I will be repeating words because I am very sleepy. But anyway, we won and therefore took over this site. We destroyed all the brains that were contesting us, and that kind of is shown here in the summary. They disappear, and I take over that site, which is a win for me. And this guy, the fourth player, is uncontested. He's going to an unclaimed site. And that means he's going to get it. It still costs him some money to land his brain there because the brain itself costs something, but he gets it without a fight. So that's the end of the day, and this little guy says what's going on at any time, so you see what's going on. This is the phase of this turn, so it's the end of the day. It's just kind of a pause before day 2 starts, and day 2 starts with a counting of incomes and what I have in my bank account. So it shows we are all stationed out of this one huge space station in orbit that is visiting this kind of untapped planet. And even though it looks like we're floating out here, it's actually these are just supposed to be UI representations of what's actually going on in this trade star, where there's no fighting allowed in there, but when we go down to the planet, that's where fighting is allowed, and we send down our brains and troops and materiel and all the stuff from our trade star, and then we battle it out on the surface of the planet. So I am gonna start my turn, and now since I have a base, I can do 2 things now. I can still attack other places, and I will go take an expedition. Actually, I'll try to ruin his day over here, but the attack budget is the same, so I can still try to attack somewhere with a certain amount of money, but then the remaining I can do, I can try to build up my defenses here. So I assign some money for a build budget, and I can even design the base manually, and I'll just show you how to do that real quick. So I get to place where I want my brain, and build all these bunker modules. I can, go kind of nuts with it and use my mouse wheel here, but I mean, I can place that, and these are actually just going to be blueprints right now, since they're not actualized yet. They're just blueprints for what I have to build with that money that I assign, and I can move things around. Since they are just blueprints, I can pick them up and move them around. Make something smaller there, maybe. Okay. And you can go nuts with this and have a lot of fun with building a nice little base, and even deployments are interesting because they kind of spit out defensive units in specific locations. So if I put a light infantry deployment here, he'll keep every round of the game, he'll keep putting out a new guy if the previous guy got moved or killed or whatever. So it's kind of an automatic rebuild of the base. I can keep, adding doors and whatnot to like different choke points and so on. Here maybe put a little door. Makes sense. So, and I want to put my brain now in here if I can. I can only put him actually before the blueprints are built. I can't actually put him in here because, and you see how there's a rule that I can't, the red line here, you can't put him somewhere where he's like in the middle of the earth. It would just be very annoying to have to dig up an enemy's brain out of the middle of the ground in a tomb that's closed. So there's a rule that he has to have a path to the sky, and so he can have one right there still. But these things need to be built before I can put him in there, and then you can give him weapons and whatnot. There's already weapons laying around. Now, as you can tell, this is the same terrain that we fought on before, and all the stuff that's here and all the wreckage and the battle damage is persistent. So next turn I will actually have some fun playing in this bunker. But now I'm done designing the base. And if you don't want to design the base every time, it's kind of a lot of work sometimes, so you can actually just auto design it. So the AI will design a really cool defensive structure that, you know, it'll build as much of it as you give the money for it, and you can build it out quite big. The automatic stuff doesn't override your stuff though, so my stuff will get built and then it'll start doing his little building design after, but you can completely, you know, disable it if you want to. Anyway, so that was my base, and I'm gonna attack his base, and that's pretty much all I can do this turn. You can see my money has been allocated here. This is where my money came from, which is just shows that that base that I had gained me some money, and this is where I'm gonna be sending it, the attacking and the defensive, and so I end my turn. We'll see what the AI does. So it shows me paying for 3 items. I didn't allocate a whole lot of money here, so he built 32 items, so his base is going to be awesome. So I'm attacking his base, and it shows the money that I'm assigning to this attack out of my total, and this is actually the money that he didn't budget for anything, so it's kind of like the leftover money that you don't use to build up your base or to attack someone. Ends up being kind of like a slush fund for defenses, so he'll have this 400 bucks to buy stuff during this battle now that's going to happen, because I'm attacking him in his base. That is going to be fancy because he built a lot of stuff in there. So the 400 bucks is like beyond the existing defenses, and since I didn't scan this place, I'm completely in the dark. I have no idea where this base is, so I'm just gonna choose a spot on random, and this is kind of the what would you call it, disadvantage of landing dark without scanning, because I don't know what's going on. Unfortunately, it seems like I didn't land on top of his base. His little brain indicator's over here. His brain is all the way over there. But I have safely landed, and a good idea immediately is to dig down your brain, so I set him to auto dig mode, and he'll start digging. My AI, or AA, anti-air drone, offensive drone here, is going to help me protect my base. So I'm landing some additional troops right away. I'll build some more of it. So as you can see, I actually do have to explore because there's nothing seen over here yet by my team. So if you play co-op, which you absolutely can, with a friend or even with the AI, when you guys explore. What? Hello there. So I'm digging up some gold, but yeah, if you share the exploration with your team, so your team might explore stuff. You personally, as the player, haven't seen that, or seeing a lot going on. I'm being attacked from both sides, and my brain is alone right now with. So this attack is not going so well. If I can survive this one guy, which I hope I will, if I can get up there. Yes, except napalm grenades. I made it out of there. Okay, good. So right now I'm quickly gonna. I've decided that this was a very bad idea, attacking him, and so I'm gonna evacuate my brain because I'm out of money. It's gonna take too long to dig up enough gold to attack him, and he's got a lot of gold. And he's got a big base too, so I'm gonna evacuate basically and abort my mission. And I do that by landing a rocket, which will be the smallest fuse rocket. I'll squirrely and just make it not tip over because it's all bouncy. And open the doors. Can you please open the door? This is pretty much the worst rocket you could pick to do this for, so screw that thing. We're gonna go with a different rocket. That actually isn't a piece of shit. So fortunately he's not sending more guys toward me yet. I only have have a... This is a more serious rocket. So I jump toward the doors, and I fly it off the top of the screen. And this way, I failed the mission, which is, you know, is what it is. I spent a bunch of money down here, but my brain did not get wasted. So my brain will actually return to my pool, and it'll show that here I wasted a bunch of money, but the brain goes back to my pool, and I have now saved that very important resource, which is that brain, by extracting him out of that idiotic mission that I went on, because I didn't know he wasn't that idiotic. I mean, I was hoping I would kind of catch him with his pants down, but he built a bunch of bunker defenses there and assigned a bunch of money, so I couldn't really have a chance there. It was very tough. Anyway, the turn goes on. There's the second battle still, so the other two players are battling it out over this site, and we'll see how that goes. One of them died, and the fourth one got the place. So we're at the end of day 2, and now this is day 3. So this is kind of how it goes on until I'm gonna really build up my base here, and then attack this unclaimed site, and just keep going in turn. So this is how it goes until only one team remains with any brains. So if you're the last team standing with brains, you end the game. However, the brains that are here ready for deployment are not the only brains. Remember that, because you're sending brains down to these places. So there's one of my brains is actually at this spot. If it wasn't in the battle tournament, I could actually click this and see that there's a brain there. But you can also, just by the fact that I own the place, that means I have a brain there. So I actually have all 10 brains still intact. I have not lost a single brain yet, because there's 8 here, there's 1 station here, and 1 got sent out to attack this place. So hopefully I won't die here. But even if this goes to 0 in my pool, which is the point I'm trying to make here, I am still not out of the game, because there might be brains that I've sent down and actually have bases that also generate money. So it can get kind of interesting in the end, where you're trying to dig out, or kind of kill the last few brains of an enemy that is really dug into a place. And again, I forgot to scan this new site, which is dumb of me, because it's not going to help me. Although, then again, I didn't really have money for scanning. It cost $250 and I barely scraped it right here. So it absolutely makes a huge difference when you're attacking a place, whether you have the money allocated for it or not, or enough money to accomplish it. It just becomes very, very, very difficult otherwise. If there's a big base, and then you're not gonna host. Take out my turret. Anyway, so we have this guy. I'm kind of on the opposite side of the map. The maps wrap around, so I can go. I'm gonna attack again on both sides. He's got a sniper rifle there. And there's no cheating going on the AI, by the way. You do not cheat on money, or they're not giving good handicaps on money. I did the same thing, it's gonna take me out big time. So this is my first brain actually lost in battle. And it was kind of a pathetic attempt. I just ended up in a shallow grave. And it shows that here, and the post-battle review kind of. So he got that site, and now the other AI is attacking Yellow's base. And we'll see how that goes. And so he evacuated. He also did what I did before. He didn't die there. His brain actually just kind of decided to hightail it out of there. So day 4. Let's see what we got. So there's one thing that I haven't implemented yet, and as you can see, that this cactus character has not done anything in a couple of turns, and it's because he ran out of money. And this is one of the few things that's left on the to-do list before we release this thing. And I might as well announce it that this is coming out on Steam. I think it's leaked out already, but this is coming out on Steam before the end of the month, and which, yes, is very soon. And it's going to be Mac, Windows, and Linux. Linux is not on Steam obviously yet. They might start supporting that soon, but we hope to have a Linux version ready for you very soon. It probably won't be at the same time as the 1.0 launch. We're having some difficulties with the audio, getting that working right, but once we do, we'll get a Linux version out there too, and trust us, we are working on it. So we're excited to have it come out on Steam though, and it will be also available to everyone who bought the game before on our website, and it'll still be available on our website as well. So good times. 1.0 is a long time coming, and we're excited to get it actually to a place where we feel that this is like a complete game now, and it's something that's really enjoyable. I find myself playing this way too much. I spend spend a lot of time playing this game instead of actually making it, so we're developing it. So what happened on this turn also is that a new site popped up, and it'll keep doing that until it kind of runs out of the sites that we've assigned in the beginning. The number of sites that we're supposed to, this is kind of like the area, the play area, and they're all randomized also in their selection. They're not random, and these were pre-built, like they were authored, these individual places, but the order and the number and the actual subset of them, of the total, is randomized every campaign. So now we are going to start, and anyway, that was an awesome ramble. I just remembered what I was trying to tell you guys. So cactus here is negative, which A, is not supposed to happen. That's one of the bugs that we're trying to fix. And B, whenever anyone is below a certain threshold in gold, what will happen in the income phase of each round is that it'll check for if the player is below, and then it'll liquidate a brain, basically sell a brain for gold. So you end up losing a very valuable resource and getting gold for it. So you're still in the game. You can still kind of like operate and attack and defend and so on, but it's at a high cost. And if you end up running out of brains, then you're screwed. Then it's actually legitimately game over. Unfortunately, right now it is kind of game over for Cactus because he doesn't have any sites, and he has no means of actually attacking any sites, so he is kind of dead in the water. But that will be remedied very soon by me actually fixing that. I mean, not in this game. He's dead. He's gone. Poor Cactus. So it's my turn. It's remembering what I assigned for this build budget to the single site that I have. Everyone is all these two other guys are gonna go over here and attack this place, so I'm gonna kind of see if I can get the jump on the yellow guy. Danny B is being invested, so I'm just gonna use all money I have left, and I'm actually gonna use less building materials and more so I can actually attack more, because attacking and getting another site is very important for me right now. So build to, he's building up his place is pretty good, and he's making bank because he has 3 sites, so he has a lot of money to spend on them too. Okay, so this is me attacking him. Game on. Probably the corniest thing I've said this whole week. This is what happens when you don't scan. You end up landing in very unfortunate places. Fortunately, I lived out of there. I landed basically right on top of his base. What's going on here? Is there ground? He must be on top of a mount. So I'm going to unload here. And poor craft is going to try to load back to space. And I get some money back for that. It's a refund, I'll say here, for that damaged ship. Yeah, not too much, because it was damaged so much it actually gets me less money back for it. So let's see where I can land some troops, and I do want to start digging down because he's sending stuff after me right away, I'm sure. We don't have a whole lot of money, so let's see if we can get something cheaper. And you can land anywhere now if you're familiar with this game before. You're kind of limited over your brain, and it sucks to do that. We try to do it just to avoid having people kind of crash their rockets immediately into another player's brain. Bomb rushing and crash. But now, instead of limiting to where you can land, instead we have this like AI drone which lands with your brain, and he takes down any so as usual, the AI is actually quite competent. Okay. Shotgun to the face. To the face. So I lost another brain. And well, it was an attempt. It was an attempt at his base, and I failed it. But you know, that's how it goes. The AI is tough, actually. I mean, there's no handicap, and I am having a hard time against 3 AI opponents who are also fighting each other. So you can have a lot of fun playing this game just on your own, and I have. And Danny B is ruling the world right now. He's going to be winning this game, I think. I don't think I'm going to make a video of the entire game, but at least you get a gist of how this... So he's going to attack me next, which is how I'm going to end this video. Counting incomes, he gets a ton of money, so I'll show you. That's how much money he's getting. 5,000, and you can see from all the different places. So I just got, you know, my meager 1,000 from that one site I have, but I'm gonna defend to the death. So I'm gonna really crank up my build budget now and make it automatically build defensive things for me. And you can see that I actually have this one brain in here in this site, and then he has a brain in each of the other ones. There's a possibility to actually have multiple brains in the same spot if you have more than one player on the same team. You can both have brains in the same place, and that makes it obviously harder to take it over by someone else, because now they have to kill 2 brains, and it's an interesting dynamic. And you can also like evacuate 1 brain and so on, and kind of like manage your empire that way. But now all I'm doing is just cranking all my money into defenses here, because I know he's going to attack me. I'm the last thing in the way of Danny B ruling this planet and getting the contract to actually mine the whole place. That's what this competition is for, really. It's a very brutal competition to end the dispute over who gets to mine this place. So that's good. Blue is attacking yellow. We'll see how that goes. I doubt he's going to do much damage because he's attacking with such little amount of... he's going all in, but that is not a lot. 300 bucks. And he's going to lose it. And his brain. So... as predicted, yellow is going for my last base, and or my only base. I never had more than one, and I do have some money that wasn't spent on the base building. It's just the way the base building works. If there's something that's like $500 or 500 ounces of gold, you know, the next item in the list, I wouldn't have been able to spend it on here, so I end up with some slush money left, which is nice because I can actually use it in buying stuff. He's attacking with a hell of a lot of money, so I'll be... Actually, let me check how much it was. You can always... Yeah, it's 2,000, so he's gonna just come after me with a lot of stuff. You can always kind of like escape out and see what the stats were at the start, and you can resume back in at any time. So this is my very modest base that has been built here. You can actually see that it built the things that I I wanted it to before, and it placed these 2 light infantry. So that's where some of my defensive spending has gone. I'm gonna move all these guys in here because actually one is gonna go after his brain. This guy is gonna move back to my space also because we are in defensive turtling mode right now. I'm gonna set my brain to dig gold in here. See how this goes. Oh, I have guys over here too. Oh, it's from a previous fight. And this guy doesn't have legs from the previous fight. He's a battle-hardened veteran. Oh, I remember. This was where I shot. Oh, I think it was the yellow guys with the minigun. If you guys remember. And carrying that minigun around is very it's a very heavy piece of equipment, so it's very kind of unable to move very well. So he has one leg too, which actually makes him lighter. So the jetpack works better. So the physics really play into every aspect of this game. You know, if you fire a gun with a lot, ooh, I see green. And I have grenades. Picking up the grenades. Throwing another grenade. Oh shit, he landed it. Is there no more grenades going off? I threw him too far. So he killed me with one of his rockets. And that's very unfortunate. I had a good chance of actually killing his brain there, but now he's gonna dig himself into this tunnel system, and he's got all these guys coming after me. So that was an opportunity lost of ending this fight. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's with the sniper? And oh. So let's see. That's what you get. This is a pretty awesome gun that I've got with this gun. I got him, but I lost the guy that was really well. For some reason, he's very strange. So this little turret, it's kind of a piece of crap, but it did do the job there. I really need to get some more guys down here really fast. Oh, I'm not doing so hard. I'm not doing hard. He's just taking me out. Well, that was a good battle. I enjoyed that, even though I died, but it's kind of cool to see like all the stuff, the history of this place, you know, where I killed the first brain to get this place in the first place. That was the best sentence I've said this week too. You get what I'm saying though. So there's that cave complex down there that we peeked before. This is the bunker that I was building, and it was kind of like half-baked, not quite done, because I spent some building a manually one over here, and it was a waste of money because all that is not used. So I ended up in a little grave over here, a little tomb, and he won my site. So now he owns all these sites, and it's pretty much game over at this point. Ay ay ay. Because I have no money to go anywhere, and I think Notch is out of the game too. Yeah, he has no money to actually attack anything either. And Danny B has all the money. So at this point, and that's what I was talking about, there's stuff still for me to do here, and that is to have the automatic kind of the forced conversion of brains into money, and that would have kept this game going right now, but unfortunately it won't go anywhere. So there's still stuff to be done, but those are actually pretty easy compared to what I've already done this week. Basically all these little animations of the brains going in and out, and all the freaking accounting of the money and the brains getting added and, you know, subtracted from the different. It was I think I lost a few years of my life trying to like get that working right, but it seems to be working pretty well now, so fairly proud of that. And I hope you'll enjoy it when this game comes out on Steam in less than a week. Let's put it that way. It's going to be quite the event, and we're obviously very proud of having it come out after this long of a development cycle. It's been over a decade, so it's kind of mind-boggling. And I started making this game back in high school, but now I just turned 30 this year, so that's life. But at least it's coming out as something that I envisioned as a complete game that I set out to do. I didn't know exactly what it was gonna be when I started it, but I knew I wanted to finish it and be proud of having finished, you know, something to where I could proudly say that it was a complete project, or a complete product, really. And that's where we're at. We're very close to. So I'm just gonna quit out of this, and thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll have some fun with this very soon. That's all. Thanks, bye.